All right, so today I'm looking for a little more comfort. I'm going to make some adjustments to my handlebar, not only the rotation of them, but also the placement of the controls as far as the front brake lever and clutch lever. So we're going to get into that today on the 22 RMZ 250. So first things first, you want to gain access to everything. Take off the bar pad cover. Take off the bar pad itself. It just sits right there. The cover holds that on. So the next thing you got is 4 10mm bolts. So you can take any tool you have. Socket works, box wrench works. Anything that's going to get a good grip onto that. Get these loosened up. As you can see, I've taken a couple of wrecks and these have actually kind of backed off on their own. So definitely make sure you pay attention to the torque of these guys here. So as you can see, I can rotate them forward and there's indicators there, or sweep them back. I had them set at a 3 and I might actually go back to the 3 to kind of help me keep my elbows up. You can definitely play around a lot with these settings. It can take a lot to figure out what works for you and what feels comfortable. So I'm going to lock that down. Let that bar come around there, just so I'm not fighting the steering. What you want to kind of do is go in alternating fashion. I am not going to actually torque these. That's if you want to torque them, there is a spec for these in your owner's manual. So if you are that worried about the torque on these, please refer to the owner's manual and it will tell you exactly how tight to make these. So essentially just by rotating my bars, what I did was I dropped my lever placement and I also brought it forward, which being more forward is going to help you keep your elbows up. It's going to help you stay further forward on the bike if that's something you struggle with. And this is just a real simple, it's free adjustment that you can do to possibly add some comfort or just make things work better for you. All right, next thing we're going to work on is, I don't have many problems with the brake lever, but my clutch lever is just still a little too far out for me. So what you're going to do to adjust the clutch lever is take any sort of 8mm. For this, I'm using just a 1/4 inch drive socket. That's an 8mm socket. And I'm just going to loosen this up. And if you have a Suzuki, the whole shot assist device will kind of be in the way a little bit. And that's just going to be, you can use a Phillips head that's technically going to be a bit, a JIS bit. But as long as it's not too tight, you can get away with using a Phillips head screwdriver. So all I'm going to do is work both of these in. As you can see, that's where it started. And now I'm bringing it in just a little bit more, until I find a point where I'm happy with how far in. That's a lot further in. So when you run your controls in, it makes you, you know, if you make a diamond out of your hands and you put them on the bars, it makes you run your hands at an angle, which is better. It keeps you from like white knuckling the bars and the grips. And it also just naturally makes you keep your elbows up. So I'm happy with that little bit of adjustment. A little bit goes a long way when it comes to control adjustments, especially on the bars. So I'm just going to tighten this back down, not crank it down yet. I'm going to look and see, am I even with the bar adjustment? This is going to have to come back up just a hair. On the brake side, I'm happy where the placement is as far as in versus outward, but I'm going to bring that up just a bit. Tighten those back down. That is much better. Now these, you don't want, these are little tiny bolts. You don't want to get a whole bunch on them. It don't take much to make them stay in place. So as you can see, I have the Acerbis handguards, and they're mounted directly to the perches. So that makes it real easy for me to tell if my levers are mounted evenly as far as up and down. So that is tightened on there. And as you can see, just a little bit keeps that good and tight. It ain't going nowhere. Now I'm just going to go back with the Phillips head. And get that tightened back up. Down. So the only thing left is to just take your bar pad, slap that right back on over there. Unfortunately, this is honestly the biggest pain in the butt part. It's just wrapping the bar pad around. It can be finicky. So take that. Line everything back up. All right, bar pad's back on, and that's another job complete on the RMZ.